Hi friends, good evening. So welcome back. This is the lecture number 9 on time dependent perturbation theory. In last class we have studied about Fermi golden rule. So in today class we are going to study about transition probability for a harmonic perturbation. So before that, let me just recap what we have covered in the last class. So while studying about transition probability for a constant perturbation, we have derived one expression for transition probability. As you can see here, this was the transition probability for a constant perturbation. That is Pi of t is equal to 4 times mod square of brass if v cap ket psi I divided by h square square omega fi square into sin square omega fi t divided by 2. Okay, so this v cap is time independent. That's why it is constant perturbation. Constant perturbation means time independent perturbation. So by using this type of identity in delta function, as you can see here, this type of identity, that is limit t tends to infinity sin square yt divided by pi y square t is equal to delta of y, and by substituting y is equal to omega fi divided by 2. As you can see here, this thing omega fi divided by 2, we got an expression like this, that is 1 by omega fi by 2 whole square into sin square omega fi t divided by 2 is equal to 2 pi t h scot delta of h scot omega fi. So when t tends to infinity, by using this we got an expression for transition probability in constant perturbation, that is Pi of t is equal to 2 pi t divided by h scot mod square of brass if v cap ket psi I delta of ef minus ei. Okay, so this was our transition probability for constant perturbation. This, by using this condition, by using this identity, when t tends to infinity, we got an expression for this like this, that is Pi of t is equal to 2 pi t divided by h scot mod square of brass if v cap ket psi I delta of ef minus ei. So now we are going to study transition probability for a harmonic perturbation. So we studied transition probability for a constant perturbation, and now we will study transition probability for a harmonic perturbation. So before that, let me just differentiate between these type of perturbation, that is constant perturbation and harmonic perturbation. So first point is, in constant perturbation is time independent, that is it should not change in time. Okay, so in harmonic perturbation, the perturbation will be time dependent. So this is the difference between the constant perturbation and harmonic perturbation. In second point, if you remember, while studying in transition probability for a constant perturbation, we observed that there will be transition takes place from a initial state to a final state which has same energy. That means if you switched on the constant perturbation and wait for a long time, that the initial energy and final energy will be equal. Okay, as you can see also from here, this delta of ef minus ei will be valid only for ei is equal to ef. So in constant perturbation, transition will take place between the two states which has same energy. So there, in constant perturbation, there is no loss of energy of the system, or no gain of energy So constant perturbation neither supplies energy to the system or nor releases energy from the to the surrounding. Okay, so there is a conservation of energy in constant perturbation. But what will happen in harmonic perturbation? There will be two cases. So there will be two cases possible in a harmonic perturbation. So what are those? So in harmonic perturbation, two cases arises. That means the energy of the system can decrease or energy of the system can increase. That means what I am saying, there is a observation of energy occur, or there will be a emission of energy. So system can release energy or can absorb energy in harmonic perturbation. So there will be two cases will be possible. So there will be two cases possible. One is absorption of energy and other is release of energy. So the amount of energy released or absorbed is equal to h squared omega. So that omega is known as the frequency of the perturbing field. That means frequency of the perturbation, frequency of the harmonic perturbation. So now we differentiate these two. That means between the constant perturbation and harmonic perturbation. So now we will study harmonic perturbation in detail. We have studied constant perturbation, that means transition probability for a constant perturbation. Now we will study transition probability for a harmonic perturbation, and we will derive an expression for transition probability in harmonic perturbation. So before that, okay, just now we will take the perturbation which let me say one thing. What do we mean by harmonic? Harmonic perturbation is something which changes periodically. That means periodically with time. That means it can be a function of sine, it can be a function of cos, and also it can be a function of sine and cos. Both sine and cos can be there. Okay, so according to our simplicity, we will choose this perturbation. Okay, that means you can take as cos, you can take in cos form or in sine form, or you can take it in both form. Okay, so we will take one type of form. As you can see here, I have taken this. That means v cap of t is equal to v cap exponential I omega t plus v cap dagger exponential minus I omega t. So v cap is time independent operator. Okay, that means as you can see here, I have chosen this type of perturbation. This is known as the harmonic perturbation, and if you notice this type of that is exponential I omega t or exponential minus omega t is a explicit often cos. If you expand this, it will be cos omega t plus I sin omega t. So here is cos and sine, both dependence is there. So this is a type of harmonic perturbation. We will choose our perturbation. We will take our perturbation this, and we will derive transition probability for harmonic perturbation. And remember this v cap and v dagger. That means this v cap is time independent. V dagger is just the dagger of this v cap. Okay, so our harmonic perturbation is this. That is v cap of t is equal to v cap exponential I omega t plus v dagger exponential minus I omega t. So now we will use first order transition probability. Okay, so if you remember, this was the expression for the first order transition probability. This was, that is PA of t is equal to 1 by h square mod square of integration over 0 to t brass IA v cap t dash k psi I into exponential I omega phi t dash dt dash. Okay. So now what we will do, we will substitute this v cap of t dash from here. As you can see here, from here, if you take the v cap of t dash, just replace t by t dash. So we will get this, we will substitute this thing. I have substituted this for v cap of t dash. That means v cap exponential I omega t dash plus v cap dagger exponential minus I omega t dash, and brass I cat's I will be there, and the rest of the things, that is exponential I omega phi t dash dt dash. Okay. So in next class, in next step, so as you can see here, what I will do, just take these two things. This v cap is time independent. Okay. And I will take first psi f and this v cap and this psi I outside of the integration, and the remaining term will be there. That means this I exponential I omega t dash, and this is exponential I omega phi t dash. So this will be simply add as exponent which will give you exponential I whole into omega phi plus omega whole into t dash, and dt dash will be there. This dt dash will be there, and there will be a next term, this, that is brass IF v cap dagger. Similarly v cap dagger and psi f and psi I will take out from the integration, and we only left with this, that is brass IF v cap dagger ket psi I integration over 0 to t exponential I omega fi minus omega whole into t dash dt dash. Okay. So this is just mathematics, and if you studied the transition quality for constant perturbation, there I derived it in more detail. So this is the something in harmonic perturbation, the same step we will follow to derive the transition quality for harmonic perturbation. So what we will do now, as you can see here, this thing. Now we will find this integration. So this will give you simply this thing, that is exponential I omega fi plus omega whole into t dash divided by I whole into omega fi plus omega, and integration over 0 to t. This thing, limit will be there. Plus second term, this thing will be there, that is brass I v cap dagger ket psi I, and if you find the integration of this, you will get this. That means exponential I whole into omega phi minus omega whole into t dash divided by this thing, that is I whole into omega phi plus omega 0 to t, and mod square will be there, because previously it was mod square, whole mod square. As you can see here, this mod square will be there. Okay. So now what we will do now, we will substitute the limit now. So if you substitute the limit, first we will substitute t, then 0. So what we will get? We will get this. If you substitute this, we will get this. That is, this thing will be there. Exponential I omega phi plus omega whole into t minus omega divided by this thing, that is I whole into omega phi plus omega, and in second term also you will get like this term, that is exponential I omega phi minus omega whole into t minus 1 divided by I whole into omega phi plus omega. Just substitute the limit, you will get this. Obviously you will get this, and mod square will be there. Okay. If you can't understand, just pause the video and look back. You can understand. So now what we will do, so as you can see here, this is the whole mod square, this term plus this term. Okay. And whole mod square is there. So what we will do now, we will expand the term. That means we will apply a formula, that is a plus b whole square. Okay, so a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So that 2ab, that cross product term, that means when 2 times this thing and this thing will come, we will neglect this term, because neglecting the cross term, because they are negligible compared with the other terms. So we will compare to other terms. That means if you square this term and if you square this term, so that cross product term, that is that 2 times ab will be small compared to this term, compared to these square terms. So we will cancel this, we will neglect this. So because they induce no lasting transition, they will be very small compared to this this square. So we will neglect this. Okay, that 2ab will neglect. So we only left with this thing we have. That means, as you can see here, simply if you open this mod square, we will get mod square of this term plus mod square of this term plus 2ab. We already neglect. So if you find the mod square of this, you will get mod square of this times mod square of this plus mod square of this times mod square of this thing. Okay, so we will just do that. As you can see here, this thing we have done. This is just simply mathematics. You just do that. You can do it. As you can see here, I have split into mods. I have split these things 1 by h square mod square of brass I v cap cats I into times mod square of exponential I omega fi plus omega whole into t minus 1 divided by omega fi plus omega, and plus will be there, and the next second term will be there, that is 1 by h square mod square of brass if v cap dagger cats I exponential I omega fi minus omega t minus 1, and this thing, that is omega fi minus omega. Okay, you just look back and check it. Okay, this 1 by h square will be multiplied with this term and with this term. So we got this term 1 by h square in both the term. Here 1 by h square, here 1 by h square. Okay, you just look back and check it. So now so we have also got an expression while studying in transient quality for a constant perturbation. So we derived this earlier. So now I will tell you this thing again. If you try to find this mod square of exponential I theta minus 1, you will simply take the conjugate this whole term, that is you will get exponential minus I theta minus 1, and there will be this thing will be there, exponential I theta minus 1. While taking the if you take the conjugate of this term, you will get simply I will be minus I, as you can see here. So this thing will be there, that is exponential minus I theta minus 1 whole into exponential I theta minus 1. So if you multiply and calculate, as you can see here, you just multiply. Okay, you just multiply this thing and you will finally got 4 sin square theta by 2. Okay, I won't tell you, you just you can see and check it. You just pause the video and check it. You will get this thing, that is mod square of exponential I theta minus 1 is equal to 4 sin square theta by 2. So now we'll substitute this formula in this. So this thing, if you choose theta, if you choose this thing, that is omega fi plus omega t in place of theta, and also this thing omega fi minus 1 minus omega whole into t in place of theta, so we will get this. We will simply get this thing. 4 I have taken common. So we got this, that means 4 by h square. This thing, that means mod square of brass I v cap cats I into sine square omega fi plus omega whole into t by 2 divided by this thing, that means omega fi plus omega whole square, and plus will be there, and also there will be a term 4 by h square whole into mod square of brass I v cap dagger cats I into this thing will be there. That means sine square omega phi minus omega whole into t by 2 divided by omega phi minus omega. Okay. So you just look back and check it. I just substitute this thing. This thing. That means that mod square exponential I theta minus 1 mod square, like this. I have substituted this. And one thing I will tell you, this I as you can see here, this I while calculating the mod I square, we have taken mod I square as 1. Okay, so after taking the mod I square is equal to 1, we got this. Okay, so finally we got this. That means for transition probability for harmonic perturbation, pi of t is equal to first this term, that means this thing, plus will be there, and second term. Okay, as you can see here, second term is there. Okay, so what we will do now, as before, while studying the transition probability for constant perturbation, we plot a graph by taking, there was a term like sine square omega phi t by 2 divided by omega phi square versus omega phi. So we plot we obtained a graph like this. I hope you watched that video, otherwise you can't understand here. So you just go and watch that. I will give you the link of that video. That means the transition probability for a constant perturbation. So anyway, now what we will do, we will plot this thing. Look this, sine square omega phi plus omega whole into t by 2 divided by omega phi plus omega whole square versus omega phi. We will get one curve. Okay, and this thing, sine square omega phi minus omega whole into t divided by 2 divided by omega phi minus omega whole square. These two terms are same, but only difference is here is plus omega and here is minus omega. Okay, so now if you plot these two curves, as you can see here, I have drawn also this thing versus omega phi, and as you can see here, I have taken also these things. Here is minus omega, here is plus omega. Okay, so we plotted these things and these things versus omega phi. As you can see here, omega phi, I have written here in x-axis omega phi. So we will obtain a similar type of curve as we have obtained earlier. So this is simply resembles with the diffraction pattern in optics we have studied also. So look at this first curve. This curve. Okay, so when you plot this look at this term, look at this thing. When omega phi is equal to minus omega, so this sine square theta, this thing theta will be small. When omega phi approaches to minus omega, this whole thing will be small, and sine square and you can replace sine theta as theta. So according to that, sine square theta will give you theta square. That means omega phi, this thing, omega phi plus omega whole square t square by 4, and there is in denominator omega phi plus omega whole square is there. So both will cancel. We only left with t square by 4. So when omega phi tends to, when omega phi is equal to minus omega, you will get t square by 4, and there is a maximum value, that means t square by 4. So when omega phi is equal to minus omega, we will get a maximum value t square by 4. And if you move away from minus omega along this side and this side, as omega phi increases, so we will get a decreasing, we will get a curve with in decaying in amplitude. As you can see here, we will get a central peak and minus at omega phi is equal to minus omega. That means at omega phi is equal to minus omega, we are getting a maximum transition probability. And when omega phi increases on both sides, we are getting a decaying in amplitude, damping. As you can see here, decaying, amplitude is decaying. So similarly, as you can see here, for this thing, here is a minus omega. So you will get maximum transition probability at omega phi is equal to plus omega. Okay, so when omega phi is equal to plus omega, this thing will be small. That means sine square omega phi minus omega whole into t divided by 2 will be simply replaced by omega phi minus omega square whole square t square by 4, and there is in denominator also omega phi minus omega square. So they will both cancel out, which will give you t square by 4. Okay, so as you can see here, similar type of graph you will obtain. Similar type of graph we will obtain. As you can see here, similar type of curve we will obtain. And one thing, at these points, as you can see here, I have marked here omega right to the minus omega. This is omega 2 dash, omega 4 dash, omega 6 dash, and led to the minus omega 2, omega 4, omega 6. And here is origin, here is our origin, and towards the right of the origin I have plus omega, and towards left of the origin I have minus omega. Okay, and this is omega phi. The whole axis is omega phi. Okay, so when omega n is equal to this minus omega minus whole into n pi by t, that means this side. So at these points n is equal to 2, 4, 6 like that. So at these points we will get zero transition probability. That means there is, as you can see here, at these points, okay, these points are, at these points there is no transition probability. So when omega n is equal to this, n is equal to 0, 2, 4, 6, you can substitute in this curve. So in this expression, omega phi is equal to, these are the omega 2, omega 4, the omega 2, omega 4, omega 6, or whatever these things and these things and these things. So these are the value of omega phi. So if you substitute this, so suppose omega 2 is equal to omega 2, you choose the value n is equal to 2, and you got it as minus omega minus 2 pi by t. So now you will substitute in place of omega phi. So if you substitute this, omega phi is equal to omega 2, and you will substitute minus omega minus 2 pi minus 2 pi by t. So what will happen? So 1 minus omega and plus omega will cancel, and t will be cancelled, 2 will cancel. So sine square pi will be 0. Okay, so you just substitute and check it. Okay, so I won't do that, you just check it. For all these cases, that means omega n is equal to minus omega minus n pi by t, and omega n dash is equal to minus omega plus n pi by t, and here I have taken capital omega. As you can see here, this thing, omega n is equal to plus omega minus n pi by t, and these things plus omega plus n pi by t, we will get the zero transition probability. Okay. So anyway, so when omega phi is equal to minus omega and plus omega, as you can see here, omega phi is equal to minus omega and plus omega, we are getting the maximum transition probability. Okay, so this is known as the central peak, and this thing is known as the central peak. So when omega phi is equal to minus omega, maximum value of transition probability, TP means transition probability, this thing TP means transition probability. So transition probability will be this thing. How? You just if you substitute omega phi is equal to minus omega, as you can see here, if you substitute this in these things, in this thing, omega phi is equal to minus omega, you will simply get from here t square by 4 1 will come, and if h square will get, you will take inside, will simply get t square by, from here when you substitute omega phi is equal to minus omega and take the approximation, you will get t square by 4, and if you take h square inside, you will get t square by 4 h square, and obviously this mod square will be there. Okay, so if you want you can multiply 4 and 4 will be cancelled out. You will simply get this thing. You will simply get this thing, t square by 4 h square mod square of brass I v cap psi I. So if you multiply this 4 inside, you won't get 4 here, as you can see here. If you multiply this 4 inside, you won't get 4 here. Okay, you won't get 4 here because they will cancel each other. Okay, so this is the transition probability for when the omega phi is equal to minus omega. So this is the maximum transition probability when omega phi is equal to minus omega. Similarly, this will be the maximum probability when omega phi is equal to plus omega for this term. Okay, so you will get a similar term, and if you multiply this 4, and if you multiply this 4, you won't get it 4 here in the denominator, like as you can see here. Okay, you will simply get t square by h square mod square of brass I v cap dagger cat psi. Okay, you just do that calculation. Okay, this is simple only. So for omega phi is equal to plus minus omega, we are getting the maximum transition. That means we are getting a central peak, that peak, maximum peak. Okay, so probability of transition is greatest only when the frequency of perturbing field, as you can see I have written here, probability of a transition is greatest only when the frequency of perturbing field is close to plus minus omega phi. You can say omega phi is equal to plus minus omega, or omega is equal to plus minus omega phi. Okay, so when what is omega phi? Omega phi is known as the transition frequency when a system makes a transition from an initial state function to a final state function. Okay, that means from an initial quantum state to a final quantum state. That at that time the frequency of the transition is known as the omega phi. Okay, so when omega phi is equal to plus minus omega, that means omega is the frequency of the perturbation, frequency of the harmonic perturbation. Okay, so when omega phi is equal to plus minus omega, we are getting maximum transition probability, and this is known as the condition for the resonance, for the maximum probability, transition probability. As you can see here, this. Okay, so when t tends to infinity, this transition probability, as you can see here, this transition probability, this thing will convert it to this thing. This thing. That means Pi of t is equal to this thing, 2 pi t divided by h squared mod square of brass I v cap cat psi delta of ef minus ei plus h squared omega plus this term. 2 pi t divided by h cot mod square of brass ia v cap dagger cat psi delta of ef minus ei minus h cot omega. So in the beginning also I have discussed that in constant perturbation by using delta identity we got a term ef minus ei here. Okay, but there was no extra term here. We are getting extra term, that means h cot omega and minus h cot omega, and here minus h cot omega. Okay, so now what we will do now, you just go and do that. Okay, similarly what we have done in the last class for transient probability for constant perturbation. I won't do that, but because the video is already lengthy, so I won't do that. So now if you take this t and t from here, and if you substitute pif t divided by t, that means the transient probability per time, transient probability per unit time, which is known as the transient probability rate. So we will get this. Okay, we will get this. That means 2 pi by h cot mod square of brass a v cap cat psi into delta of ef minus ei plus h cot omega. Okay, and also here there is a term 2 pi by h cot mod square of brass if v cap dagger cat psi delta of ef minus ei minus h cot omega. Okay, so this is the transient probability rate. So now we will, so in next class we will discuss more physical significance of this transient probability rate. Okay, so so now you just do the calculation and try to get this thing. Okay, I have already done in the last class while studying in transient probability for the constant perturbation. As you can see here in the beginning, I have written here. Wait, let me show you. Let me show you. Wait 1 second, just a second. Listen, by we got a transient probability for constant perturbation by using this type of identity. We got this. Okay, we got this delta of ef minus ei. Okay, so by using a similar type of identity, we will get this. Let me show you. So this thing we will get this. We will get, if you use the similar identity of delta function, we will get this for transient probability. There will be for a constant perturbation there was ef minus ei, and for harmonic perturbation you will get an additional term h cot omega and plus h cot omega and minus h cot omega. Okay, so this is the transient probability rate. So we will discuss in next class more physical significance of this transient probability rate, and we will be discuss detailed balancing, which is also known as Fermi golden rule for the harmonic perturbation. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss more physical significance of this transient probability rate and Fermi golden rule for the harmonic perturbation. Okay, so I will stop here. We will continue from the next class. Thank you.